Hello, friends. Welcome to Coffee Break. This is Dr. Michele. Are you happy it's already March? It's another week, another month, another opportunity to partake of blessings, to receive a lot of things, and to look forward to the new normal. Yun ang sabi nila. So, good afternoon, friends. This is Dr. Michele. You are with Coffee Break. I hope that you are ready to be happy. You are ready to talk about finding happiness. So, for those of you who are here already, wow, I have a few friends watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for starting your month right. So, this month coffee break, it's already on its second year. Diyan ako na-excite, di ba? Second year na ng coffee break. I didn't realize that this thing that I started doing in the lockdown will continue rippling off. Whenever I would think about stopping, totoo po yun, nag-iisip din ako, titigil ko na kaya, napapagod na ako. Whenever I would think about stopping doing coffee break, um, I receive messages from friends, you guys, that how it has blessed them, how it has ministered to them, how the things that I'm doing can actually, para kala ko dumadaldal lang ako dito, yun pala, nakaka-bless pala. And that's is the mission because Coffee Break is here for you to be able to hold hands with you in the daily life, in the difficult life, and holding hands with you in your family, in your well-being and faith. So that's what we stand for. So this after sabi ko, I was mulling over. I was really thinking about what appropriate topic would be good to start the month with. And I thought of, parang I haven't really talked about finding happiness. Sabi natin, parang ano ba yung happiness? Yan, tanungin ko kayo for those of you who are here already. What is happiness for you? Di ba minsan nagiging expression na natin yan, di ba? But you remember the song when we were little, happiness is finding a pencil. So, ako, ako yata yung happiness finding ball pens. Yung paborito kong mga ball pen, yung magaganda sulat, yung multiple yung kulay, parang sa akin ganon. And if you look at it, really, happiness is very subjective. But I will talk about happiness with you in the light of positive psychology. Kasi there is actually a science of happiness. Can you imagine? Pero kayo friends, for those of you who are here and watching, I would like to ask you, when we hear happiness, anong nararamdaman nyo? Anong naiisip nyo? At ano yung mga words that make you actually, that make you happy? Words, things, just the thought of it, it's making you smile. Anong nakakapagpapigay ng kilig at munting kaligayahan sa'yo kahit na mahirap ang buhay? Yan ang kailangan nating makita. So I would like you to define your own happiness. So for me, happiness is actually something beyond emotion. Totoo yan. That's actually the scientific definition. Happiness is it's not just being happy. Happiness, it's not about mood alone. Happiness, it's not about your emotions. Happiness is beyond that. Happiness is more than that. So sa inyo friends, what is happiness? So happiness for me is seeing that video I played earlier. Thanks to my friend Nika Azor who did that. Thank you, Mom Shi. That is really a wonderful way to start the March, the month of March. So what comes to you when you wear happy? What makes you really happy? So maybe it's your favorite colors. So maybe it's your favorite food. Maybe it's a favorite scent. Parang di ba there's a cologne that, well, it's a perfume. The Clinic Happy, di ba? Parang, oo nga, no? Pag nilagay mo siya, because na-condition ka na there's happiness there, you are actually conditioned na when you put it, you have to smile. Or, nilalagay mo siya when you're not feeling okay. So what is it? If you cannot answer that, what is it that what you connote, what you relate the happiness with, I would like to ask you, ano yung isang mababaw na bagay na nakakapagpasaya sa'yo? Huwag nating sabihin yung mga complicated na mga bagay, yung mga mamahalin, yung mga luxury things. But what is the simplest thing that can make you happy? Meron ba? Happiness is finding a chocolate. Happiness is finding chocomalos. Ayan. Happiness is drinking delicious coffee. Yes! Simpleng-simple, di ba? Simpleng-simple. Ako, happiness, nung nahanap ko tong, alam ko meron akong ganitong necklace. Nung nahanap ko siya, yes! So, siya bukas. So, that's really happiness. So, good morning hugs. Yes! Happiness also is my kids' hugs. Yan. yung hug ng mga anak ko, kahit na malalaki na sila, they hug me, that's happiness. Jumping on my rope. Tinan nyo to, coffee, your favorite drink, tea, morning hugs. Diba, these are people, jumping rope. It doesn't cost you much, but then it's making you happy. And doing that makes you more happy. Okay, so what makes us really happy? There is such thing as a science of happiness. Yes, na-operationalize na po yan, friends. And looking at it, it's as I said earlier, happiness, it's more than positive emotion. Kaya, remember before, we have that thing na, ay magiging masaya lang ako if we quantify happiness as that. Magiging masaya lang ako if I will only be happy when, if. So we put certain conditions on how we define happiness. I would like to you to reflect. Doon bang yung isang bagay na akala natin maybe when we're in our early 20s, yung akala nating isang bagay, pag nakapagtrabaho na ako at may sweldo na ako, okay na ako. Iba hindi naman talaga siya nauubos. Kasi, ay, masaya na ako pag nakabili ako ng ganitong bagay. Ay, pag mayroon akong branded na bag or branded na ganito, okay na ako. So, hindi siya nauubos. Ay, pag nakarating ako dyan, ay nako, okay na ako, fulfilled na ako. No, because in reality, us humans want something more. Right? Do you agree with me? Parang gusto natin na one thing after another. That's why it's hard to depend on things, matters, for our happiness alone. Kasi it is likely that, oh, tinan mo, hi Jen, sabi mo material things hindi nakaka-happy. Meron siyang short-term happiness. Pero long-term, minsan parang napagastos ka na, it dented your budget. Tapos, ay, ganito lang pala siya. Ganito na ba yung iniintay kong pakiramdam? So really, finding happiness can be a lifelong journey or a lifelong ordeal if we are always looking for it in material things. Tama, nakaka-excite from the start. Pero pag nandun ka na, wala na yung excitement. Agree, Jen. Parang, ito na lang yun. So, look at it. Positive psychology says that happiness, it's not just an emotion or a mood or a temporary state. It's actually a state of well-being. Can you say that with me? Happiness is a state of well-being. You know that do you know that when I talk about well-being, when literature talks about well-being, it's just not about that feeling. It's just happiness is part of well-being in itself. So that's what we would like to dissect. So that includes, ano ba yung mga included dyan? So kung hindi bagay, ano yun? It includes living a good life. Eh di ba subjective din yung good life? What may be a good life for you may not be a good life for others. For others, they may be living in a very cramped, small space, but they're very happy. But there are people, they live in mansions, they live several, they have everything in the world, but they are not truly happy. So really, it's living a good life with a sense of meaning and purpose. I think yun yung pinaka-critical eh. May sense of meaning and purpose. Bakit bakit sa tingin ko critical yung sense of meaning and purpose? You know, this is very important, friends. Kasi kung mabubuhay tayo, tapos wala naman palang kinakahinatnan yung buhay natin, and then what are we living for? We will be just forever finding things to make us happy. But we will reach a point, mauubos din yan. Binili mo na lahat ng may brands. Nilagay mo na, dinikit mo na sa katawan mo, dinikit mo na sa sarili mo. Pero hindi mo talaga dinikit yung buhay mo. Hindi mo, in my terms, you defined your worth, you defined yourself, and you defined your happiness by the names of other people. But you did not give your life your signature. You did not give your life your stamp that this is what I created. The life I created, the life that would make me happy, and the life that I would like to live. So look at it that way. Happiness includes living a good life with a sense of meaning and purpose. Yung pagiging nanay, may meaning and purpose ba yun? Yes. Yung pagiging magulang, yes. Yung pagtulong sa iba, yes. Yung bang trabaho natin, alam nyo, madalas nating makalimutan, ang trabaho ko lang, I work in the office, maybe I work in the accounting firm, and then I work in the back room. I don't directly work with people. But come to think of it, if you're working that way, maybe your work is connected to making a difference in other people's lives. Hindi, Doc, kasi yung trabaho mo, you really deal with people. I may be here looking at you, talking with you, and directly helping you, but each of us, if we look at our work, is making a difference. We don't look at it as a work or a job. We look at it as actually a mission and a vocation, because in one way or another, our work becomes the way for us to serve the world. Alam nyo, when in my earlier years, yung meaning na yan, our work becomes really our purpose. Tumimo na yan sa puso ko. Salamat sa mga teachings ni Brother Bo Sanchez way back when I was in my early 20s. And really, it has become what I preach and what I walk, na sa lahat ng ginagawa ko, meron niyang meaning, may purpose, nakakatulong. And if we look at it, oo nga no, so let's do something and how we look at our work. Dok, wala naman akong employment. I'm a work from home mother, or maybe I'm a stay-at-home mom. Well, being a stay-at-home mom is actually a purpose in itself, because I cannot fully do that. I cannot fully 100% of my time be for my kids because I have other work to do. But you can actually devote your time to your kids, and that is meaningful in itself. So in everything, I believe all these things, if we're going to look at life that way, that we're going to shift from looking at work as a mission, and each of the things na ginagawa natin in our daily life has purpose, has a bigger connection, it's serving other people, and it will come to a point that we will gain the satisfaction that we have. And one of the components of happiness is really what we call true satisfaction. um, I've heard many times, and I know na narinig niyo na to, what is satisfaction? True satisfaction is not having what we want, but being contented with what we have. Magandang mangarap, masarap mangarap, pero kung we're not going to live in the present moment because we're always pining for tomorrow, na sana ganitong year na para makuha ko na tong ganito ko. Pag nag-retire ako, ito yung mangyayari sa akin. Pero how are we living in the now? Yun yung nagiging, tricky. Are we living in the now? Or are we just keep on preparing for tomorrow? Kasi you will just be only satisfied if the conditions that you have set for yourself are already existent, but you forgot to live in the now. So that is actually the tricky thing there. So true satisfaction is being contented with what you have in the now, while maybe you work for your goals for tomorrow. Pwede naman yun, di ba? Yes, because happiness, yung mga taong masaya sa buhay, hindi nyo nabansin, they are at their best of health also. Yung mga taong less mag-worry, yung mga tao na magandang matulog, yung mga tao na mahaba ang buhay, hindi ba sila yung masasaya? Hindi sila yung masaya na tumatawa, but they are the ones who are more contented. It's tested by science that the one of the major effects of happiness is physical health. Hindi madaling nagkakasakit ang mga tao. Because of that, it affects their lifespan. They live longer. Di ba parang, meron lang kaming biroan na parang, ayoko nang ma-stress kasi ayokong magkasakit. Meron kaming biroan minsan ng husband ko na ganyan. So, and also, people with a sense of happiness have higher quality of life and well-being. Mas maganda yung pakiramdam nila sa buhay, at saka pag sinabi nating higher quality of life, hindi ibig sabihin sila yung nakakataas sa lipunan. No. They know what to prioritize in their life. They value their sleep, they value their well-being, they value their health. They have certain standards na hindi maluho, pero alam nila na ito yung gusto naming buhay. Simple, malinis, simple and healthy, but it will help us to be well. Am I making sense? So sa inyo, friends, balikan natin. Marami na tayong nag-uusap dito sa coffee break. What is happiness for you? What is that source of happiness that you have right now? Kanina may nagsabi, di ba? Jumping rope, hugs, what else? Material things na hindi nakaka-happy, hugs from people. Ano sa inyo yung ano sa inyo yung happiness? What is it that makes you happy? Happiness is just one aspect of well-being. Isa lang yan. Because the other aspects of well-being is mental and physical health. The other area of well-being is actually about healthy relationships. Another area of well-being is purpose. Di ba connected sa happiness din yung purpose? And of course, happiness and life satisfaction. So, tinan mo, Jen, you said time with your kids and husband. Alex, comfort food. Oo nga. Kaka-happy yung food, no? Wag lang sobra. Totoo yan. So, the science says, happiness science, the line of positive psychology says that happiness, it's not fleeting from one happiness, it's not fleeting from one joyous event to the other. Hindi porke puro high sa buhay. Ba, nag-asawa ka, na-excite ka, it's not jumping from one state to another. It's not jumping from one happy event to another. Because, ibig sabihin, I like to take from what Terry is saying. Terry. Inner self-acceptance considers happiness. Yes! As I said, it's not fleeting from one joyous event to the other because so we'll be forever na lang looking for happy events, travels. Ayan, paborito ng mga tao yan. Paborito ko rin naman yan. Pero, sasaya lang ba tayo pag nandun tayo sa ibang lugar at nakapag-travel tayo? Paano kung hindi natin magawa? Like many people in this lockdown, they think that they'll be only happy pag nakalaboy, pag nakalabas. But in reality, paano nga kung meron restriction? What if you get sick? And you cannot do that. So you'll be forever stuck with that thought that na pag nakalabas ako, okay na, masasaka lang ako, sasaya. No, because it's actually that inner self-acceptance. It can be actually a form of happiness. Ayan, may nagsabi, BTS, o diba? Okay to kung ito yung mga tinatawag nating pampahappy. But if we will define true happiness through material things, through tangible, external things, then it's not going to help. Because what if these things will be taken away from us? So true inner acceptance is actually happiness. Another thing is that, can we be happy even if we are in pain? Tanong ko yan sa inyo. During this COVID situation, during all the restrictions that we have, thank God we're already in, the cases are lowering now and sooner nararamdaman na natin na posible na maging normal yung buhay natin. Ang tanong ko sa inyo, is it, even if we are in the middle of a tricky situation, even if we have discomfort in life, even if we are having struggles, can we still be happy? Masasabi ba natin na, I still have happiness despite of my struggle? What do you think? What's your answer? Hintayin natin yung sagot. Sa tingin nyo, yes or no? Pwede bang sumaya kahit na hindi polido lahat? Hindi perfect ang mga bagay? Yes! Thank you, Myra. Thank you, Noreen. Friends, yes. Because many factors influence happiness. And if we are just always being fixated on people, things, belongings, and experience, if our happiness will solely depend on that, we will never be truly happy. Kasi happiness, it's not fleeting from one event to the other. Happiness includes discomfort and struggles. Happiness have all the varied factors. Ang daming nangyayari, ang daming factors na nakaka-apekto, pero bakit may taong nakangiti pa rin? Despite of, may taong kaya pa rin humarap, kahit na ang daming stress, nakakangiti pa rin. Yes, Because tama ka, Alex, happiness is actually a choice. And look at it this way, happiness can be within one's control. And because of that, happiness can actually be a choice because it is within our control. Why did you say that, Doc Itchel? Why did you say that happiness is within our control? Because we can choose to be happy kahit na naghihirapan tayo. We can choose to accept the path of less resistance. We can choose to accept that, hey, I can be happy if I will just accept that this is the reality. Even if the conditions are not perfect, I can choose to be happy because there's no struggle there. Ruth, you're saying that I'm happy when you fulfill your purpose is say yes, because finding a purpose can actually make us happy to begin with. Kaya diba, truly we create our, tama Lourdes, we create our own happiness. Tayo lang yung, so pag sinabi mo ba, can all these new experiences, can a trip somewhere bring you much happiness? Yes, it can. It can help. But is it the sole way to be happy? The answer is no. Because life satisfaction and happiness, it's not actually a destination in itself. It's a journey. To be satisfied in life, to be truly happy in life, it takes us to a long journey. Unti-unti. We will not be happy if and when we can be happy at the here and now. Are you getting it? Can you get ano ba yung sinabi ko? We will we can oh we will not be happy only if and when because we can be happy in the here and now. Happiness, as I'm saying that, happiness alone does not help well-being. Doc, sabi mo kanina, part of well-being yung happiness. Pero happiness per se is not equivalent to well-being. Hindi porke masaya ka, you're already well. Because it's the pursuit of happiness. The how we pursue happiness. Along the way, it's the journey that is what is important. Hindi naman yung end result yung nakaka-strengthen sa atin eh. Hindi naman yung resulta talaga yung yung makakapagpabago sa atin eh. It's actually the journey. I was just reflecting. When I was taking my doctoral dissertation, I took it for 6 years. 6 years that I was working part-time. 6 years that I was taking on projects. 6 years while doing that, I was raising my two kids. They were preschool and grade school then, and all this time also while I was doing my PhD, um, we have health struggles in the family. So itong panahon na to, 6 years, masaya ba ako na nakuha ko yung PhD? Yes. But that's actually the destination in itself. But what changed me? The PhD just changed the letters in front or after my name. But the PhD journey honed me, helped me prioritize, helped me focus on what truly matters, allowed me to be attuned with to take care of myself while I take care of my family, allowed me also to deepen my faith na kahit na sabi nga nung aking friend na preacher, Itchel, kahit na academic yung ginagawa mo, it still have a spiritual component because you're a spiritual person and what you're doing is to help families. So there will always be distraction. Sabi ko, oo nga no. So it honed my faith also. It honed my discipline. And how did it hone my discipline? Today, I woke up at 4:30 a.m. I'm doing a project. I'm doing a book. Hopefully that book pushed through this year. I usually wake up before 4:30 a.m., before 5 a.m. to write because my best writing time is during in the morning between 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Bakit ko to kinikwento? Kasi ang natutunan ko along my PhD journey, it's not the degree, but it's the lalim, it's the depth of what I know. It's the diligence of staying in the process even if it's hard. So happiness, it's not really when of course, if you see my graduation pictures, it's it's really blissful. But that process is just the end result, because along the way I am changed. Along the way I am honed. That's a very good question. Uh, Mary Jane, I would like to take off from that. How to find happiness while dealing with the death of a loved one, living with pain every single day. Don't my one of the things that personally I would say, don't automatically look for happiness. You have to grieve. Don't be fixated na kailangan maging masaya ako, kailangan maging grateful ako. You have to first acknowledge your grief. You have to secondly accept the grief, and you have to find ways to grieve while you find some things to make you happy. So it's the journey again, the journey of going out of grief to finding new ways to be happy again. 'Di ba? So how to find happiness? Maybe we can look for it in small things. You don't look at it for big packages. We can actually look for it in small things. Let's look at it. So what does life satisfaction and happiness includes? And these are the things that we can look into that can help us be happy. Regularly indulging in small pleasures. Ayan, ano yung maliliit na bagay? Regularly indulging in small pleasure that you feel pleasurable. Meron ka bang wine, like ako, I like pink moscato, and it's something that we indulge in once in a while. So regularly, yes, pwedeng I would like to have my favorite cup of tea from your favorite coffee shop weekly. So there's a regular treat for yourself. Or maybe ay, yung cologne kong maganda, yung perfume ko, gagamitin ko yun for special occasion. So, meron din ganon. So, regularly indulging in small pleasures. Huwag niyong kuriputan yung sarili niyo. What if I'm just home and I'm grieving and I'm not okay? The more that you should look for things. Ako, yesterday, I had a forum with a friend. It's for her team. For her team in the workplace. Ang tanong sa akin is that, even if you're in the middle of disappointments, can you still take care of yourself? Yes. And this is exactly that. I look for things, I personally look for things that can make me happy. I literally look for something different that will uplift me. I need to pay myself. I need to do something good. Visiting your favorite salon, correct? So ako dyan, every 2 to 3 months, I visit my favorite salon and hairdresser. So, regularly indulging in small pleasures. As I said, small. It does not need to be very expensive. It can be just pinakamababaw. Like eating your favorite turon. Diba? And it's something, going out and looking for something that will make you kilig. Like buying an halaman, buying a plant. That can be that. So, that's it. Indulging in small pleasure. Another is getting absorbed in challenging activities. Can you just be happy with just doing nothing? No, you'll be bored. Hindi naman totoo na gusto natin na magpahinga. Yung iba na kunyari napapagod sila pero hindi naman talaga tumitigil magpahinga. Ah, at natawa ko dito sa sinabi mo, sindihan ang kandilang pinanghihinayangan sindihan. Yeah. Yes, actually, I've learned that na wag na nating panghinayangan. Well, I make beeswax candles. Thank you, Lulu, for buying my beeswax candle. But come to think of it, minsan ayaw natin gamitin yung favorite perfume natin. Ayaw natin yung mga candles that were given to you. Did you ever light them up? Ako, I've learned to light them up and to burn all of them. Kasi kung hindi, maalikabukan lang. So, nagpapamassage ako, eat the food that I want, punta sa barbershop, oo, hinay-hinay lang isa-isa lang. Totoo yan, ako I miss massage. Yung asawa ko na lang yung taga-masahe ko. Thank you to my husband for sponsoring my massages every night. So, you have to really think that you are trying to get these things done. And getting absorbed in challenging activities, as I said, hindi naman talaga natin gusto magpahinga. Gusto natin maging creative. So, when you start also doing things that will challenge your creativity, it's something that uplifts you because you are actually having a new purpose. So, that is exactly what I'm saying na may mga bagay na ay kailangan ko tong ibigay sa sarili ko. So for me, what is it? What are my creative outlets? My challenging activities? As Lulu said, I make beeswax candles. Erilu, di ba? I make beeswax candles. Thank you for supporting it. I make soaps, handmade soap, and I make balms. Minsan, it's really challenging because I have to get to know the materials, the healing properties. So I have to think, I have to research first. Hindi pwedeng gagawa na lang ako dahil hindi naman yun yung automatic na yung recipe. So, you have to devote time to be creative. So it's actually being creative. So ano pa? Ano pa yung mga creative ways natin? Ano pa yung we are actually indulging? Kaya if somebody is healing and finding new ways to be happy, ako talaga yung paggagawa ng sabon, may kilig sa akin yan. Minsan pati nga pag-slice at pag-wrap, kinikilig ako dyan. So that is because I am being challenged to put my creative energies in that activity. So happiness is also that. Happiness, it's regularly indulging in small pleasure. Another is that getting absorbed in challenging activities. Yes, experimental cooking. Very good yan, girl. Another, do you know that setting and meeting goals is actually a form of happiness? Wag lang kayong masyadong mafi-fixate na, naku, hindi ko pa 'to nagagawa, hindi ko pa 'to nagagawa. Because 'di ba, like for example na, for me, when January comes, sabi ko, okay, project ko yung sala, I need to do some adjustments in the sala, so we did something, kaya kung may napapansin kayo, I put a shelf beside me, kaya yan, meron ako ditong rack with my plants and some of my stuff. So that is a project. So think about it that way. It's meeting your goals. It's not the big goals. I realized that for me, it's hard for me to operate without goals. Na pag na-achieve ko na isang goal ko, para na akong sabog. And I think you would agree that because setting goals give us something to look forward to, no matter how small. So, do you have plans for the weekends? Yes, ako, I have. I'm going to take my long planned soap class. Ang weird, diba? It's like a soap retreat. So I'm going to take that and I'm so excited for that. So that's a goal also, but that's also a new experience that is challenging for me. And that is actually a pleasurable activity. So another thing, setting and meeting goals that can actually bring happiness. Gets actually bring us, tama Lulu, meaning and purpose. Kasi pag na-achieve natin yan, take note lang huwag kayong mafi-fixate na hindi ko pa tapos tong goal na to. Personally, I am doing a book. Hopefully, it will be published by my publisher. This March, sabi ko February matatapos. Haha, hindi pa tapos. March 1 na, hindi ko pa tapos. Halfway na. Halfway na siya. Hindi pa rin siya tapos. Hopefully matapos ko this March. I have set a goal in a timeline, but I'm not being fixated by that because if I get too fixated on the timeline, the goal of making me happy, that the goal that is supposed to make me happy might just make me more stressed. You realize that? So you have to balance that it's making you happy, but you're not too fixated on the result because it's the journey that's important. And last point, uh, hindi pala, last 2 points. You have to learn to keep close ties. What do you mean by close ties? You have to learn to interact with people that you truly like. Friends, umamin na tayo. Ngayong panahon na to, panahon ng election, it's hard to interact with everyone because we don't see things eye to eye. So, ang suggestion ko dito, kung may mga tao na kailangan nyo makipag-call off muna dahil ayaw nyong matoxic kayo sa conversation, and then so be it. But just make sure that you keep a comfortable distance or you stay away from people that you don't want to be vampires to you. Hindi ko sinasabing hindi dapat na maging masaya or hindi dapat na maging matulingin. Pero kung alam mo na madidrain ka sa isang tao at alam mo na mahihirapan kang makipag-deal with sa isang tao because of certain issues, but you need to preserve your energy and you have to preserve your sanity and happiness, so be it. Keep close ties. Be with people that you love. Be with people that makes you more alive. Hindi yun dahil para sumaya, but be with people who are making you grow. Kasi may mga tao, pagkasama natin sila, kahit na minsan nadidirect tayo na pagsasabihan ko siya o minsan kachat lang natin, but you learn something being with this person. You become a better person even if you have a very excruciating conversation with this person, and then so be it. Sana naman ganun yung nasa-serve ko sa inyong purpose, friends, na kahit na minsan dire-diretso ako and then parang wala akong preno sa sinasabi ko, and I hope that you're learning and you're growing. So keep close ties with these people that you think is helping you to become a better, not a bitter person. And then last point, I think this is what you said, Lulu. Erilu dear, thank you for this. Gives us meaning and a sense of purpose. That's the end goal of one of the things that we need to include in talking about happiness. Finding purpose beyond ourselves. Friends, meron ba kayong mga taong tinutulungan? Meron ba tayong mga taong minamahal kahit na hindi nila tayong kayang mahalin? I think today, the gospel that was shared today, it's actually about yung sinabi ng disciples na, Lord, eto po, meron akong ginawa. Binigay ko na yung lahat. Ginive up ko na yung pamilya ko. Paano naman yan? Diba? I think that's the gospel today. But Jesus said that if we give up things, who will not receive 100 times more, blah, blah, blah. Many that are first will be last and the last will be first. And I think that's about it because we live a life not just for ourselves. Yun yung totoo, friends. So, kahit na maniwala ka sa hindi. Kaya minsan, yung iba, they keep finding happiness in material things, but they cannot. But truly, we can find happiness if we are actually helping other people make their lives better. Am I making sense here? Ang sarap pakinggan na kaya natin to ginagawa kasi kailangan nating malaman that this is the life far bigger than ourselves. I like the quote that Brother Bosach said in his book, Life Dreams 101. It's actually life-changing for me. Why do we want success? Success, it's about us. It's about us. But actually, we are not called for a life of success alone. We are called for a life of significance. And what is significance? Success, it's about us. But significance is actually a life that is helping others reach their success. Na walang hinihinging kapalit. Friends, nasan tayo dito? It's finding purpose beyond ourselves. Kaya kailangan natin maging masaya. Kasi mahirap magbigay kung tayo mismo bitter. We need to learn how to take care of ourselves. We need to learn to be well so that as I always share this, the happiness and the love that we give other people are actually the overflow of what we have inside. Because we cannot give from a place of lack. We need to give from a place of overflow. If we give from a place of lack, if we give from a place na, kaya ko to ginagawa para pansinin mo ako, papasayin kita kasi pasayahin mo rin ako. If we give through that, it's not real happiness. It's called exchange gift. But when we give from a place of overflow, alam natin hindi naman kayang bayaran yung effort, hindi naman kayang bayaran ng pagmamahal, alam natin na posibleng ang hindi makapagbayad, but that is gonna be amazing. That will be so amazing. So, friends, I hope that this coffee break will make you reflect on your true happiness. Are you happy with just the destination? Or are you happy going through the happiness journey? Another, how do we look at happiness? We need to look for regularly indulging in small pleasures, even if the simplest things. Another, getting absorbed in challenging activities. Do something differently, do something that makes you alive and creative and life-giving. The third, Setting and meeting goals. Don't be fixated too much on the end goal, but be happy going through the process of reaching your goal. And fourth, keeping close ties. Be with holiday people. Be with the people whom you choose to share life with, and whom you can actually grow to be a better person. And then last, happiness is actually finding purpose beyond ourselves, and that is a life of significance. On Thursday, I will be speaking about the kinds of the signs that people can be very happy. So I hope that you join me on Thursday for coffee break. Yeah, I will continue my discussion on finding happiness, but I will end with this point right now. It is not Happiness is taking things as is what it is. It's not if and when. Happiness is as is. What is it? What is it in the here and now? It's not if and when. I hope this episode has blessed you. I hope that this is helping you, and I hope you share this live stream to family and friends so that you can bless the world through coffee breaks. So I hope also that if you find it in your heart to bless coffee break, you can send us stars here in Facebook, or you can send us an email to know our Gcash account number. So that's about it. I hope that you join me again for the next episode of Coffee Break. And this is Dr. Michele Alignay. Find happiness not outside but inside you. Magandang araw. God bless you all.